Alright, so we're going to recreate this logo using a piece of vector art that I have. I'm going to do my best. Some of this might be a little bit choppy, but I will try and communicate it to you. And I'm here with Natalia.
Huh?
That's the little girl voice that you might hear. I'm recording.
Oh.
So first, and I'm going to try and talk about this as I'm going through it. So I'm just going to drag into Photoshop our shape. You have to do page up there, hit OK. Boom, there's this. We'll size it down a little bit so that it's close to the C we want. I put a colored background back here just so we can kind of see better what we're doing. I'm going to turn this layer off.
Can they see us?
No, I don't think so. Let's see. I'm going to select this. Actually, if you hold down the command key, and click on your shape here, do you see how that your little hand has selection dashes on it? When you click, it's going to select your smart object here. You can come down to the paths right there and click on this. This will make this a working path from a selection. So if you select anything, you can click this little guy right here and it will turn it into a path. Now you can see right here and right here, it's not perfect, but in a pinch, it'll work pretty well, it seems. So I'm not exactly sure what to do from here, so I'm going to pause it. Alright, so now that we have our work path, in order to convert this into a shape that we can actually use, because right now, as you can see, it doesn't do anything. It's just a path without any color inside. It's not really a shape. So you have to come to once you have that selected with your selection tool, your path selection tool, like that, you're gonna have to select your pen tool, then come up here to shape, tell it that it's a path. I mean, it's a work path already, but for some reason you have to say, hey, be a path, and then you can come over here and say make it a shape. Boom, there you go. It's the same color as your fill right here, and that's looking pretty good. So there's that part. Alright, I may have turned off some layers here, but what you can see is we have our shape now. I'm going to turn this layer on so that we can see what we're doing. All we're going to do is, it's pretty simple from here on out. We're just going to hold shift. We're on our shape tool, and we're just going to draw a cool little circle there. And because we are in our shape tool there, looks like we are already inside there, so that these are kind of connected. And then we're just going to draw that little one since we're in there right now. So you can just go click. What just happened? What? That's weird. Okay, so drawing paths with the pen tool is apparently a little funny. So let me figure that out. Alright, so if you have your shape tool or your shape layer selected, I can't talk, and you want to draw another shape, it's gonna combine those and merge those shapes automatically like that. So you can see that it's they're together in one shape. If you were on a different layer and you're on your shape tool and you draw your shape, then it's gonna create a whole new layer for you for that shape. As you can see in our layers palette, it popped up there, and that's pretty cool. Something you can do, you can go ahead and select these both by holding shift, or I think command 2 might do it, and then you hit command E. It's going to merge them as if you had created those shapes all in one shape like we did earlier. I'm pretty sure that's the case anyway. Just double check that, make sure it's all good. Boom. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. So that's pretty cool. Alright, and now we're going to draw this number 1 here, and you might be thinking, well, cool, we're already in our shape, let's just go ahead and draw that. And oh shoot, that didn't work like I was planning. Boom. Okay, so now that we have these shapes here, I thought, hey, I'll go to my pen tool. We went from shape to pen tool, and let's start drawing. And then, whoa, what's happening? What's going on? I don't know. I don't have any idea. I'm not an expert in this, but this is freaking bonkers. Instead of path, it's on path. Apparently that makes a big difference. I don't fully know the difference between paths and shapes, but anyway, we're gonna undo that. And when you're on your pen tool and you're in a shape, I guess it makes sense, you need to make sure your pen tool is not on path but is on shape. Then you can go ahead and click, boom, boom, boom. It makes a new shape for you, which is cool. We can merge that later. I'm not sure why that didn't work because we were on this layer. I'm not sure why it didn't work with the pen tool, but it did with the shape tool. Anyway, so you can kind of see the ends of our the terminals of our shape there are squared off. So we can just come up here to this line tool, and this line tool lets you put cool little effects. It helps you style your line. So we're gonna center it. We're gonna make our corners not square, but we're gonna actually round them, and the ends we're gonna have be round, and we're gonna go ahead and make sure it's, whoa, so I guess each time you change those, it changes all these to the defaults or something, which is kind of weird. So we're gonna round all this because that's what the original logo kind of looks like. What I love about vector artwork is that in pen tools is you can always come in, I shouldn't say always because I don't know, maybe sometimes you can't, but 99% of the time, and I'd probably say 100% of the time that I have worked with them, I've always been able to edit them, so that's pretty sweet. And they scale, which is awesome. So now that we have this, let's go ahead and turn these off, and these layers right here, and boom, there it is. There's our logo. We recreated it. It's not in color yet, it's just black and white, but it's pretty sweet. Alright, cool. So now that we got those going on, those being, we got our C, we got our circle, we got our number 1. These are all shapes. I'm just gonna rename this shape. I'm gonna rename this shape 1. And this is gonna, I'm gonna rename this one C, and I'm gonna just say it's a shape so that we know that these are shapes, because I can never keep shapes and paths straight. So, alright, next step is because the 1 is inside of this circle shape right here, if we try and merge these by doing Control E, or even layer combine shapes and uniting them all together, because that 1 is inside of there, it's merging these together. I don't know how to explain this, but at least not off the top of my head. It's just kind of weird. So what you're gonna do is do Control G, or click this little folder right here icon, and we're gonna put these into a group. Boom. Now these are essentially kind of together, and we can affect this group, this folder, all at the same time. So we're gonna, in order to get these little splatters to show up on, like, inside of these strokes, let's make the splatters. So you make a new layer, and then we got our brush, and we have some splatters. This is just kind of a test to show you what's going on. And then, boom, cool, we're making splatter stuff happen. Blah. Awesome. That's our shape now. This is one of the coolest things that Photoshop does with layers, I think, in my opinion at least, is you hold Option, and it's gonna somehow merge these together. It's pretty sweet. Watch what happens. Boom. Look at that. How sick. Is that awesome or what?
Yeah, that's like.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
I want one.
It's hardcore. I know. It's awesome. Anyway. Alright, so because this brush is not vectorized yet, you're going to be limited to how large you can make this. We are going to vectorize this now, and we're going to do it the same way as we did the vector artwork that we brought in here initially. So we're going to hold Option or Alt and click this guy. Wait, nope, Psych Command. Click this guy. That selects it. Then we're going to come down to our work path. We're going to create a work path out of it. Boom, there it is. Go back to our layers. Then we'll come over here, select our pen tool. It's on path already, so we can just click shape, and it should create a shape for us. Yep, it did. That shape had a stroke on it from last time we were using the shape tool, so we're going to get rid of that stroke and we're going to fill it with, say, red. That's a good color. Wow. Then we can turn this original brush layer off, drag this down, and boom, there we go. Now it's vectorized. You can make as big or small as you want to make this this artwork now. Another thing I forgot to mention, you can come back in and kind of clean up your C shape here, because it was a little bit, it's just not the greatest. It's not ideal. It's not an ideal way to make a vector artwork if you have like super clean shapes that you want to make. Making a selection and then creating your working path and then making that into a shape. There's going to be some cleanup you're going to have to do, but that's it.